Welcome to Fairy Tale Access, where the head fairy's quest is to prove that fairy tales do exist in actual time rather than once upon a time. Together, we will unravel the heroes, young and old, who turn dreams into reality. These are the people who still believe in happily ever after. The discoveries will bend even our most cynical non-believers into believing in fairy tales. Hi, welcome to Fairy Tale Access. Today, our guest is Shubhankar Ray with Tutor Teddy's. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Did I get your name right?
Yeah, got it right.
Thank you. So tell us about Tutor Teddy's.
We started a company called Boston Predictive Analytics, and Tutor Teddy branched out of it. With Boston Predictive, we had experts in statistics, mathematics, finance, and they had been helping PhD and master students with their respective fields and subjects. But now we are helping all college students to excel in statistics, probability, mathematics, accounting, finance, all kinds of subjects.
Wow. So is that an expensive option to get a tutor?
Well, the first problem, if it takes less than 10-15 minutes, we do it free of charge. And it's pretty affordable even after that, compared to college credits. It's pretty affordable.
$10.
Yep.
Wow. Now, what made you decide to create this type of company?
Well, my interest was, or always been, in statistics and machine learning, because that's, I think, is the best approximation of how nature thinks. So that's why I was interested in that. I'm still interested in that. And then I was looking around, if you look at the college graduate rates, it's around 50%. So our goal is that by 2025 to make it 75%, the college graduation rate. So, and helping struggling students 24/7, I think will make a big difference.
Oh, so 24/7, is that how you came up with the teddy angle? Because I would need a teddy bear if I was taking statistics. But it's very difficult.
Yeah, statistics, we found that it is one of the most challenging class for most of the college students.
But statistics can be skewed. It depends on so many different variables. Mm-hmm. How is it used in everyday life?
If you look around, all the technologies and services and products that are around us, like modern search engines, or self-driving cars, weather forecasting systems, even NASA's Mars rovers, all these things that are around us, they're all using statistics, machine learning, predictive algorithms under their hood. And so it is one of the most important subject that one can learn.
Wow. So how is it used with, is it rover, the one that's on Mars right now?
Yeah.
So statistics plays a part in the way that, and you also said search engines, so like Google or Teddy can. So they're used in that to get it to work?
Yeah, I can tell you, hopefully I can articulate it right. Like on Mars rovers, when it is driving on the surface, it has to make sure that it is not falling in a ditch or it's not hitting a big rock, because then it's stuck. So NASA will have no benefit of that multi-million-dollar rover. So what it does, every time it is seeing a rock or a ditch, it has an algorithm that is categorizing it. Is it a danger or it's not a danger? Is it a good rock or it's a bad rock? Or kind of like good, bad, or ugly. What kind of rock it is. So am I going to be trapped there or not? So this algorithm started giving him the answer, okay, no, it's fine. It's running based on past data. It has an intelligent system that already has learned all those dangers. And it is answering the Mars rovers that don't go there, or you can go there. So that's where the machine learning and statistical analysis is playing a role.
But isn't that still guesstimating? Because we've really never been on Mars before, so where would they have previous data to tell them what's safe or not safe?
Interestingly, I think they did an excellent job before sending rover. I think they had full map and territorial map or whatever, I mean, the information about the surface and everything. So yeah, no, they are already pretty informed about the dangers already. So
oh, wow.
yeah, so that they can train the system so that it can drive properly.
So how is the home computer system versus where NASA was in the 1960s, playing out these crazy mathematical equations on the blackboard? How has that really enhanced this field?
This is very interesting. The statistical analysis is nothing new. It has been around last 50, 60 years. But it used to be 10 statisticians in a room for 6 months creating a predictive model. But because of the new computers, home computers or new computing systems, they're so powerful, and because of the new algorithms that we came up in the last 10, 15 years, there is a big disruption in this field. So we can do the same thing with maybe just one person in few hours. So what has happened is that it helped to make decisions at a lot lower cost than it used to be in the past. So the cost of making decisions using machine has dropped. So that's a big disruption. So answering your question, I mean, how new computing systems compared to what we had in 60s is just lowering the cost of making decisions.
It's lowering the cost
of making decisions.
Wow.
And you can see it in all organizations. You will see that it used to be that the humans are making managerial decisions. Now the computers are helping them to make very quick decisions about every process in every department. So that again shows that how important to learn all these subjects to get a job in future for young students.
Wow. Well, besides NASA, where would students work? What are some exciting openings in the field?
You can go to IBM working for Watson. You can go to Google. You can go to Facebook. Behind all this marketing analytics, see, marketing is nowadays using predictive analytics. So marketing jobs do need an understanding of statistics and predictive analytics. Because that's the way we are tracking all the campaigns, how are they doing and how you can improve them. So the marketing jobs, using predictive analytics, so they can get there. And designing any artificial intelligence based systems. For example, like, nowadays they're building thermostat like Nest. That has a lot of intelligence in it. And robotics, all the things you see around, you can work with them. And then biomedicals, bioinformatics, they have been using all these machine learning techniques. And then if you move to developing countries, predicting water and food distribution, they can improve those distribution systems. So you can work there in governments to make things better, designing better infrastructure, and even controlling disease spread. If you can see how the disease is spreading, you can, by using predictive models, you can see that it can get really worse. So you can take necessary steps to stop them. So it's a lot of places people can work with these things.
Wow, that's great. Which country would you say had better analytics than others?
Well, of course, United States is doing very well. I mean, we have universities and research institutions. They're coming up with new algorithms. Europe is doing very well. But of course, there are countries who don't have that kind of research institutes. But definitely they can make use of those. And I like to make a comment about that. Our company wants to help any governmental organization from any country at a low cost, or even could be free, if they want to apply this analysis to improve their life and their communities.
That's a great volunteer project.
Yeah, I mean, we enjoy that. We have done a little bit of it, but we want to do more. Most people don't know that anything like this is available, or if anything like this can be done. It's like more magical, right? I mean, you can predict, as I said, this is the closest you can go how nature thinks. Mm-hmm. And once you can figure that out, you can do so many good things. So yeah, hopefully people will know about it more.
Well, I think people would think it would be expensive, because what is the educational time frame? You usually have at least 4 years of college, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. and extra time working in the field to develop your niche and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I think by that time, you have to be expensive to pay back your school loans. And is that part of the dropout rate, maybe?
With all the tools and the softwares that are available, I think even some high school graduates can understand this thing and can start applying it. It's not, there are two things. One is you're building the tools and understanding the theory and applying them. So the applications should not be that difficult. It's building the tools, yeah, of course, and accelerating the innovation could be challenging. So it depends on what paths one wants to take. It can take longer time. Yeah, if you are developing new algorithms, mm-hmm. you need to do your PhD. So that can take longer time. But if you're just applying the tools, it could be faster. You can start, as I said, even after graduating from your high school.
Wow. Well, what are some of the other common misconceptions that people have about statistics?
Well, there are lots of jokes around statistics. Like, I think people, for the reason that it was not that easy to do the things I was mentioning, that you used to need 10 people for 6 months to create a statistical predictive model. Mm-hmm. So a lot of companies were not interested to spend that much money and resources to do statistical models. But the disruption has happened in the last 10, 15 years. So that misconceptions may be still around. So we need to change that you can apply these things way faster and way cheaper than it used to be.
Right, because you take different elements from different fields to create the probability and frequency that something is going to happen.
Well, yeah, that's probability-based model, like stochastic models that we have been using because of the available data, because we have massive big data that is available now because of the storage that we have, that we can store a lot of data, we can create systems that are well-trained and can make right decisions. You're right.
Oh, so the field itself has actually improved a lot in the last 60 years because you're able to gather more information.
More data, yeah.
So the level of knowledge, mm-hmm. so is it the knowledge of reality versus reality itself? How does the probability factor work? So is it something concrete that you take into account, like a population statistics, mm-hmm. or elections? Mm-hmm. You did something with the elections a few years ago.
Yeah, so what I'm trying, so I guess where you are going with it is like when you are predicting something, mm-hmm. and what is happening, are you influencing the results by predicting something?
Right.
Yeah, that's a very important question. It could be a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you start predicting election results, that can really impact the result itself. So it does. And but of course, when you're predicting nature, when you're forecasting weather, we don't have that kind of problems. But yeah, in kind of election, I think you do have that kind of problem.
Because it's a fluctuation of people's feelings, but isn't Mother Nature the same way? She's pretty fickle. Last year we were buried in snow in New Hampshire, and this year it's been a little better.
But when you are forecasting, Mother Nature doesn't know that we are forecasting. So there is a disconnect there, so we are fine there. So things happen even though we are predicting.
So behind all these weather reports, they're actually more accurate now than they've been in years.
Absolutely.
They're using predictive analytics with everything.
Yeah, they have more data, they have better algorithms, better computers, so we are getting better predictions.
Wow. So is that how the Farmers Almanac was made?
That I don't know.
So they have some pretty good predictions
That's
in there.
true. I don't know how they make it, though.
Was that something that Ben Franklin was into? Who really started the study of statistics?
Oh, that, I think, no, I don't want to make comment because there are so many giants that came before us. We are really standing on the shoulders of those giants, and I don't want to miss anybody. But if you go to Wikipedia or others, I mean, you'll see there are famous, some of them are famous, some of them are not that famous, but it came from the field of logic, really. It's very mathematical, but it came from the field of logic and then
move forward.
Yeah, and
is it something Einstein would have been involved in?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, his theories are backed by different theories of probability and stochastic methods. So definitely, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So where do you think this field will take people in the future? What can students have to look forward to?
I think the machines will get smarter and smarter. I'm not sure we should be worried about artificial intelligence because you may read Elon Musk from Tesla has commented that AI can take over. I don't see that yet.
Because we can just shut them off, right?
We can, but if yeah, exactly. I mean, there should be some way to bypass that kind of problems. But there are people already researching if there is anything harm that AI can do in coming future. But before that, I think we'll be enjoying self-driving car. That's already coming. People are telling in 3 to 5 years. So I think we all enjoy reading books. So we can just take the car and enjoy the ride.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's an amazing time that is coming for us. Yeah.
Wow. So what advice would you give young people in college? What was the hardest part for you? First, what was the hardest part for you in college? And then what advice would you give young people going to college in your field today?
I did electrical engineering, so it was not exactly statistics related. I had some high school statistics that time, and then I kind of self-taught myself into machine learning and statistical analysis. So I would suggest them to really look around and see what is interesting for you, and train yourself so when the opportunity comes, you can respond to it. Mm-hmm. Of course, if I like machine learning and statistical analysis, it doesn't mean that they will like it. Right. Yeah, there are so many interesting things around besides that. So, if statistical analysis and machine learning are interesting for you, read papers on them. No book is updated enough. There are publications every other day. So go online, look for good papers, go to those websites of those professors or researchers who are contributing, and learn, what is coming. So, and have fun with it. That's the whole point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe join robotics while they're in high school and come up with a unique design for the future.
Yeah, there are competitions for high schoolers for robotics, and they can take part in those. So,
I think the hardest part is when you're learning the difficult math with algebra and geometry and trig, you're really sitting back wondering how it's going to be used, how you could use it in the future.
mm-hmm.
So I think that's the biggest question.
Yeah, but when you the example you said, when you take part in a project like a robotics project, so you are really applying them. So then you can relate to, what you are learning and what you can use in real life.
Maybe more people would graduate from college by having that application so they can see it and actually feel it happening or make it happen.
Yeah. It's another suggestion. It's an all-round thing. I mean, they need to focus on their literature also, the other liberal arts subjects, and their health and other things also, and really try to grow in different areas. That's the suggestion, and then eventually they will like it and they will do good at it.
So how are you able to offer 24/7 tutors in these difficult areas? What kind of backgrounds do these people have?
They have masters and PhDs in mathematics or statistics, finance, economics. So, and they, they are. Sometimes it takes us, almost 12 to 24 hours before we can get back to them. Mm-hmm. It's not instantaneous. We take our time sometimes to do the job.
Well, some of those problems look pretty difficult.
Absolutely.
And on your website, it said they could just take a picture of it and send it to you by email so you can get the right person to help them?
Exactly. Yeah, we try to make it as easy for them. Middle of the night, they need help. And their professors or teaching assistants are not around. And we believe that little help can make a big difference. That can make dropping out from the class or even from the college or continue with that. Mm-hmm. So we give them hope when they need it the most.
Right.
We try to make it very easy so they can send it to us. And our goal is that we like to teach them so that they don't need our help next time. So even though that is, of course, we make money if they need our help, but once they learn, once they grow, they tell their friends that how awesome was the experience. So that helps us to grow more. So it's really a win-win thing for all of us.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate all the information on your company.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Until next time, keep asking questions. And if you need help with tutoring, Tutor Teddy is just the company to do it for you. And it's tutorteddy.com. And we'll see you soon.